Hello, welcome to the latest update of Asher Media TV. I'm telling you. Tell me if you've seen any other small channel that's been around for barely 2 years now. It's a year and a half with so many updates. But most of it my fault, for sure. But this time around, it's not me that instigated this update video. Alright, so likely you've noted this is a long one. And I just want to give you a heads up what to expect in terms of like the major topics of discussion, because I got a lot to say and I want to say it all in this update video, considering the changes that will likely be permanent to come, okay? So first thing I'm going to address is the situation with my blocked reaction videos that recently happened last week and, my solutions about that. And then secondly, I'm going to talk about what I believe, or who I believe, who I believe are the causes of what happened with my videos and what likely will follow from there, because I think, let's just say things will get worse, not for me necessarily, but likely for anybody else who are looking to react to Warner Brothers TV properties because of what's kind of happened to me. And lastly, I am going to address something I was actually going to talk about at some point, and that is about the future of this channel and the channel of all Canadian YouTubers, and what you as a viewer of my reaction videos should expect to see happen. Okay, what's been going on? If you're new to my channel, you're just tuning in or catching up, this is what's happened. Basically, on the 24th and 25th of August, I had published my reaction to episode 14 of Supernatural, the 9th season, Captives episode, and episode 8, the Entrada episode for Fringe. And that went through fine in terms of publishing, although at the time it was published, I had a dispute that was already submitted and to which I was 100% confident would be successful and the claim would be released, since all the previous reaction videos before then had the exact same claim, and all of my disputes before then were released with the exact same dispute. Copy-pasted. Okay? So on the Friday, the 26th, the 48-hour grace period that you normally get in between the time that you submit your dispute and for YouTube to actually allow the video to be visible, that had been available. So while I was typing in the description details for the marionette episode to Fringe and the hashtag Thingman reaction video for Supernatural, I immediately got the notice that my dispute for those two videos was rejected. That was a huge shock, because there was no reason that I could think of for that to be the case. So I really wanted to make sure that you guys got a reaction that day, right? I didn't want to put up that notice of, oh, sorry, no reactions, everybody. So immediately I was like, okay, I kind of know what likely could be the issue, which I'll touch on in part 2. So, just be patient there if you care to know about that stuff. But essentially, I decided to redo a super condensed one for Supernatural, not for the marionette episode. For Supernatural, because that was the one that would have aired first at 7 o'clock and then Fringe at 8 o'clock. I tried to do it real quick, follow the unofficial 10 by 30 rule, basically no longer be a rebel. And I submitted it, get the notice of acclaim as usual, that's the standard with the WBTV, and then I copy-pasted the same dispute. Nothing different, except for the clips are a lot shorter. Guess when I got their rejection for that one? Within 15 minutes. It took them 15 minutes to decide to reject my dispute that they've never rejected for the past 6 months or and change. For the past 80-something videos I've already put up. Okay? Keep that in mind. Alright, so when I saw that, I was like, okay. That's very interesting. I immediately contacted my moderator, because my moderator helps me out with understanding certain stuff with YouTube. And so they gave me the suggestion to just put up a video with one 10-second clip, because we had a suspicion, which I'll talk about in the next part, okay? But this suspicion, I wanted to see if it was valid. So I put up the same Supernatural episode with the first 10 seconds of the episode. And it got rejected. My dispute got rejected within half an hour. Not a day later, not hours later, half an hour. So I was very like, this seems like a direct targeting here. Okay? Anyway, let me just move a little further on here. So I decided to then take a chance with the marionette episode, since it does have some interesting content, right? And I know some of you seem to have been suspicious that it was the nature of the episode that likely could have caused it to be blocked. No, it wasn't. Because I put up one 10-second clip, and that ended up being the last 10 seconds of the episode. And lo and behold, it worked. Blue check mark. So either something was wrong with the Supernatural episode for the first 10 seconds of that episode, which had nothing really in it. Except some, I almost said a spoiler. But yeah, it had nothing in it. But yet they were fine with the one for Fringe. Essentially, that ends up being the one that you'll see as a review video on my channel. Okay? At 8 p.m. every day until further notice to start things off. So officially, from here on out, you will be getting the afterthoughts portion of my reaction video as a review video. And because I've already recorded all of my reactions to season 3 for you Fringe viewers, the afterthoughts portion range anywhere from 5 minutes to 15 minutes, but they're not much longer than that, if I'm not mistaken. So, as of season 4, which I'm going to be starting this week, it's the week of the 29th of August, I will then make an effort to elaborate a little bit more on my thoughts about the episode and add in as many clips as I can to just make that part of the video engaging for you. And for my Supernatural viewers, at the moment, you'll be getting the afterthoughts portion for the rest of season 9. That's already completed. And right now, my club members have access to half of my reactions to season 10. But when I start season 11, which is coming up very, very soon, I will then make, of course, an effort to tailor the afterthoughts portion with more extra engaging things so that my videos aren't going to be like 2 minutes long. Especially if it's a really crazy episode and I get those moments where I'm just speechless and I don't really say much, okay? I will elaborate more to give you something to watch if my afterthoughts matter to you more than my reaction. Because, it's not the same for everybody, obviously. Okay, so that is my official solution for YouTube. Now, all in all, I'm just putting it out there. It's not something I try to overly promote because I don't want you to think that's my primary objective, which it's not. I promise you it's not. It's only available because it is a standard thing to have available as someone who's reacting to properties. And what I'm referring to is my membership club, where I have all of my full reactions to almost all the properties I've discussed on this channel available for you to watch. So right now, at the time of this recording, it's a one-time registration fee, no monthly stuff. I don't use Patreon. It's my own private, simplified club available. No monthly fees. It's a one-time fee, registration fee, and you get access to everything. Link in the description box below if you really sincerely want to watch my reactions. And hopefully you'll view what I've made available at my club as a fantastic value for a really good one-time fee. And lastly, to wrap up part 1 of this video, since I no longer will be spending time, like I'm talking 2 to 3 hours per day, yes, per day, editing videos for YouTube, I'm going to then use that time to react to additional stuff and put up the review portion of it on my channel. So at the moment, I have already reacted exclusively for my club members to The Boys Season 4. So I'm going to take the afterthoughts portion of those reactions and upload them very soon. So look out for that, likely the first week of September. And Cobra Kai Season 5. I'm a Cobra Kai fan. It's starting September 9th. So I'll be putting up my afterthoughts reviews, definitely for sure, about Cobra Kai. And I'm also planning to watch Upload Season 2, since it's a very short comedy sci-fi series. And I'll be uploading my review to that season as well. Now, I know a lot of you have made a lot of suggestions in the comment section of different properties you want me to watch and react to, but at the moment, until I finish Fringe, I am not going to move on to any other major properties that have a lot of episodes, right? Like Cobra Kai won't have that many, and Upload doesn't have that many as well. It's really short, so that's why I'm going to put some attention on those properties. But just keep in mind that once Fringe is done and 2023 comes around, and if I'm still interested in maintaining a YouTube channel, I will for sure entertain whatever suggestions are put forward to me. I'm not making any final decisions, but you're more than welcome to put suggestions in the comment section, and I will take note of it. So when the time comes, I'll make a final decision at that point. All right. Now I'm going to get ready to talk to you about my suspicions as to why this all happened and what lesson you can learn from all of this if you're intending to start a reaction channel, or you know someone who is, or what thereof. Part 2. Who or what is behind the kerfuffle with my reaction videos? Okay, so before I share with you my suspicions, let me just say that at the moment, I'm cool. I'm cool with everything, because how I see it right now, a needed redirection came in the form of an unexpected rejection. Anyways, maybe it's my way of putting myself at ease and getting over the anger and confusion with all this. But it feels good. It feels good. And that's where my mindset is at. And that's why I want to just tell you ahead of time before I start sharing some details here about my suspicions and engaging you as my viewer to share your thoughts and opinions based on what I'm going to share with you right now. Okay? All right. So out of 4 possible causes, 2 are the most major that myself, my moderator, and as well as another YouTuber, we believe these are the 2 likely causes, okay, of why it seems at the moment, I hope it's temporary, but I think it could be permanent, it seems that I'm somewhat on some kind of blacklist for Warner Brothers in terms of releasing claims for their properties, okay? All right, so first one, very obvious, 1 or more viewers or 1 or more channels, or both, a channel that is a viewer of my reactions, just took issue with the fact that I was getting away with rebelling against this 10:30 standard that all reaction channels follow. It's an unofficial rule that I started to rebel against because I saw the opportunity to do so, and it was working because WBTV didn't seem to be paying attention. So essentially I found a loophole and I took it. I went with it. And those people or whoever noticed took issue with that and did one of 2 things. They either went to YouTube and reported it, along the lines of, Ash's reactions are very, very generous and mine aren't, and yet she has them up available for the public and monetized probably, and it's not monetized, but I'm saying they may have thought it was, right? And then YouTube in turn went to the copyright owners and they're like, what the F? Why is it some channels are stuck with this 10:30 rule and yet she is more generous than that and her videos are there for the public, right? That's one thing. Another thing that could have happened, or a combination of both of this, is that a reaction channel, a competing one, when I say reaction channel, I'm talking about a competing channel that's reacting to the same thing, probably attempted themselves to provide generous reactions, uploaded it, got a copyright claim, made their dispute, and got their dispute rejected, and then appealed the dispute using my channel as an example. And so Warner Brothers then turned their eyes, sort of the Eye of Sauron kind of thing, onto my channel, and then realized the loophole that I've been maximizing for the past 6 months with over 80 videos. It's one or the other, or both. But the end result is the same. At the moment, it seems that my dispute, that is very thorough, that is YouTube approved in a sense, because it actually was from a template from another YouTuber that has over 50,000 subs. She was kind enough to share that template because it works successfully for her for the same properties. And so I've been using that dispute all this time. Copy, paste, copy, paste, copy, paste. And so for them to now just reject it, coincidentally, at a time when likely I would get a lot of views for 2 highly anticipated reaction videos, bit suspicious there. But that leads into the second reason that this could have all happened, and this is another possibility that is very likely. All right, hear me out. There's what's called a ratio of views to subscriber count that YouTube apparently pays attention to. So this is not something I knew all along. This was something my moderator learned from some YouTube course he took, some premium course. So basically, it is the norm to have 10 to 20% of your subscribers watching your videos on average. So if you have 1,000 subscribers, the average view per video should be 100, right? 10% at minimum. Up to 20% is optimal, is ideal. But once it surpasses 20%, which my channel has, and like I said, I didn't know any of this till this all happened, and then my moderator looked into his notes that he got from that course, and he's like, oh, it's another possibility, is that YouTube basically took note of this ratio being abnormally high for the amount of subscribers I have. Because if you look at my most recent reactions to Fringe specifically, it's an example of that ratio being abnormally high, because I have just a bit over 1K subscribers, yet some of my most recent videos consistently have been getting more than 300 views. So that's 30% and up. And so likely YouTube took note of that and looked into it further. And because they can't profit from those views, they then in turn perhaps communicated with WBTV, and the end result of blocking my reaction videos is what it is. So essentially, if my channel was monetized, which it isn't, and I do not plan on making it monetized for reasons I'll discuss in another video specifically that I'm working on. So if my channel was monetized, chances are the release of the claim and the acceptance of my dispute would have been based on sharing the monetization, because that happens a lot with channels, right? Sharing the revenue. But because there is no revenue to share, and I am getting more and more views, and a very popular episode was going to be published, or had been published, right? Entrada for Fringe. They likely could have seen that this is a property that she's getting a lot of viewers for, and we're not making any money. And YouTube can't place ads on my unmonetized channel because I'm a Canadian YouTuber. It's only for US YouTubers, not for Canadian YouTubers. So, in a nutshell, I probably caught the attention of YouTube when they noted that I was getting a lot of views, very much close to the amount of subscribers I have, and they cannot make any money from it, and the copyright owners cannot make any money from it, so they just put a stop to it by not allowing my disputes of those claims to be accepted. Therefore, if I do decide to monetize my channel, will things change? Maybe. Maybe if I do decide to monetize and they see that they can now share in the revenue, maybe I can try again and all that stuff, but I'm not going to. So, I look forward to whatever you think could be the cause of this whole situation, based on the details I've shared with you, or based on perhaps your own experience. And if you happen to be that viewer, I'm just putting this out there right now, if you are that viewer or you are that competing channel that may or may not have reported my generous reactions, all I can say is things may actually get worse, because right now Warner Brothers is, getting rid of $100 million movies and maybe more stuff. And I would not put it past them to say that they could be losing revenue in terms of DVD sales and perhaps streaming subscriptions because people are tuning into reaction channels. Don't put it past them. If you're paying attention to what's going on in the news right now when it comes to Warner Brothers and entertainment and what they're doing and the cutbacks and the $20 billion loss that they had very recently. $20 billion! You can't put it past them to possibly double down, clamping down on channels that are reacting to their properties, even if it's just 10 seconds. I would not put it past them to just ban it altogether in the very near future. I'm just saying, things don't look good. And so that's why I believe this was a very needed redirection for me to simply just go about it the safer and better way right now. I honestly think it's the better way that other channels like Tyrone Magnus, I'm a huge fan of his channel, and I'm going to now just follow his lead in the way he does his stuff, you know, TV show, movie reactions. He does not put them up on his channel. He puts up reactions to stuff that are already pre-approved, it seems, right, by the copyright owners. And so that's enough. And he's got over 1 million subs. I think he's almost at 2 million subs right now. So if channels like that are doing fine in terms of sharing their thoughts and expressions about media, I'm taking faith that there will be an audience that I will grow who will enjoy that and appreciate that. And those that don't, they don't. And I'm fine with that. Okay, so that's a wrap on part 2 of this video. I'm now going to move on to part 3. And that is the future of this channel and the channel of all Canadian YouTubers and perhaps YouTube in general. In gist. Coming up. Part 3. The bleak and dark future of my Asher Media TV channel and the Canadian YouTuber channels as well. Ooh. No, seriously, like, I got some negative things to kind of quasi-rant about. I gotta be careful what I say, though, because, you know, this platform is very sensitive these days to certain words. Alright, so if you are a Canadian resident and you're looking to start a channel as a Canadian YouTuber, you should be aware of the stuff I'm going to be mentioning. But if you're not aware, and I surprise you with all this info, I've left links in the description box for proper references for you to go and inform yourself. And if you're not Canadian and you're just a viewer watching me and you want to know what this whole stuff is all about, and you're also looking to possibly start your own reaction channel, or any channel actually, on YouTube, what could likely happen to Canadian YouTubers could set a precedent to happen to all YouTubers. Okay. What am I talking about here? I'm talking about a bill called Bill C-11 here in Canada that is suspected to be passed into law no later than the end of this year. In fact, possibly this coming October or even November. And this bill essentially will force YouTube, streaming services, social media. It will force them to suppress in the search results, suppress the visibility of any Canadian content creator who isn't promoting Canadian content, who isn't promoting what they label, and when I say they, my government of Canada, what they label as being Canadian content. So I react to episodes of Fringe and Supernatural. That's not Canadian content. Okay? So even if all this stuff with my reaction videos didn't happen, if that bill, when that bill, because right now it's a 95% certainty it's going to go through, if and when that bill goes through, YouTube would have no choice but to suppress all Canadian content creators who aren't promoting Canadian stuff. This inevitability is so crazy frightening to the degree that there are major Canadian YouTube channels that have come out to say that they're looking to move to the States to escape losing their business that they have grown here on YouTube. And I've shared a link to one of those YouTubers. He's really hilarious. And it'll give you a much more informal but very informative idea as to how grave of an issue this is. I'm already a super tiny channel. I'm already barely visible because I still see comments of people like, I've never heard of your channel. I just found it just now and all that. So imagine if Bill C-11 goes through. I'm lucky if anybody sees me on YouTube at that point. And I can only count on the current subscribers to see my videos. And if you're not subscribed, because 80% of my viewers aren't, and that's a normal thing, but it's still not a nice thing to see, you know? Like, what stops you from subscribing? Seriously. Just press the red button. Okay? Anyways, but if you're not subscribed, you may not see my videos pop up, even if you're watching them and you're consistently tuning in. And even if you do press the notification bell, you may not get a notification. Like, my government is looking to promote and endorse what they approve of in the mainstream media. And it has to be related to Canada. So, if Bill C-11 passes, it's likely that the changes won't be immediate because it's going to take some time for them to get that one little entity on a particular street in Ottawa to start clamping down on these channels. I think they're going to likely start with the controversial ones that they have an issue with first, and then might get to little channels like mine sometime next year. Or never. But if anything, what it does is it makes it very discouraging for me to want to keep up with my channel. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to give up on my channel, but depending on what happens with YouTube, because it's not just Bill C-11 that is an issue now for YouTube. There's a whole other stuff, which I'm going to get to in just a moment. Essentially, I just want you to know that when 2023 comes around, it is possible I may not bother keeping this channel active with reactions or reviews of any kind if there's just no visibility. It's like time wasted, essentially, for an audience I can't seem to reach. Now, if I have a consistent, steady, normal ratio of views, okay, I don't see any reason why I wouldn't just continue uploading reviews and small reactions to like maybe a trailer or an article and stuff, because I'm looking to kind of add in reactions to other smaller stuff in between, right? If I don't see a problem with that, I'll continue. But I just wanted you to have an idea why I would not bother, because I'm in a country that has a government that wants to promote different things on YouTube. And reactions to Fringe and Supernatural isn't one of them. That's just the truth of things. Alright, I'm also now going to touch on one particular part that is not being talked about. I haven't seen any major YouTubers post any videos about it, so I don't even think they know about it. But I'm just going to put it out there. I'm talking about a lawsuit. A very interesting lawsuit. There's a channel. I want to put the link to this channel, this particular video, by a YouTuber that reports on lawsuits, a variety of lawsuits related to YouTube. This is about a lawsuit involving Maria Schneider. She's a composer, a Grammy Award-winning composer. In a nutshell, she is in a current lawsuit that has been approved by a judge to get through, right? YouTube failed at getting her case dismissed. It's a big deal here. She is suing YouTube for being selective in who gets access to their content ID software. This is an ID software that allows people like the WBTV, Amazon, and all them, it allows them to see who's using their copyrighted material to make videos. And she's suing YouTube because that content ID software is only made available to these big corporations, these big companies, but the little person, right, us, everyday people, content creators here on YouTube, we don't have access to see who's using our material to make new material. And so if she wins, that will likely force YouTube to then make this content ID software available for everybody. So everybody will be claiming copyright on anything and everybody. It'll be absolute chaos. And if she doesn't win, then she doesn't win. But it still sets a precedent because chances are YouTube will likely settle. But that will still give incentive to many other content creators to plead their case when it comes to copyright claims. It's a big problem. And unfortunately, this platform's process with handling copyright claims in association with the copyright owners is very, very unsophisticated. That's the best way I could put it. It's very unsophisticated. It's very unfair at times too. A lot of arbitrary stuff. I mean, even my situation right now, I have grounds to appeal the rejection of my dispute. Valid grounds. But they loom this threat, right? It's right there on their site of having my videos taken down, having a copyright strike if I attempt to appeal, and if the copyright owners just feel like doing that. They can. Because if people think it's YouTube that actually makes that decision, it's not. It's the copyright owners. If I appeal all of the rejections from Warner Brothers TV about the copyright claims with the latest episodes there that I tried to upload, they can just be like, too bad, so sad, copyright strike on your channel, and that will leave me with very little options, and the options that I would have available would be really expensive, like getting a lawyer and trying to fight that in court or something like that. I ain't got that kind of money, so that's a no. This lawsuit is very important and I'm keeping my eye on it. And as I said, links are in the description to go check it out. And knowing all this information is the main reason, as I've repeatedly said throughout this video, and I'm just going to say it one final time, why I'm going to put out a video about my very valid reasons why I do not recommend anyone to start a reaction channel specifically for TV shows and movies. Because the long-term problems ahead, they're catching up. So, there you have it. That is my official update video for this month. I hope for the rest of this year. I do not want to make any more update videos. The issue is settled. So for those of you that are like, oh, please try the reactions again, just do this time, do that time, I have given you all my reasons why it's not worth it. And I will give you more specific, thorough reasons with some receipts, some proof that continuing with reaction videos, picture-in-picture reaction specifically, because the follow-along is another style too, but the picture-in-picture reactions, I'm telling you people, no matter how big the channel or how popular the channel seems that you're watching, for other people, because I watch them too, a lot of the popular ones, they even know that this is going to be a short-lived, successful moment with YouTube because there are so many factors right now against this platform being a profitable base for not just income, but also business growth. There's more against it than with it or for it. And so look out for my video that I'll post next week about my top, at the moment, my top 5, but I may end up with 10, but my top 5 reasons not to start a reaction channel here on this platform. Thanks so much for tuning in. I look forward to engaging with you in the comment section, not just for this video, but for my future review videos to come, and the occasional reaction video to more smaller stuff like trailers and perhaps commentary or other YouTube videos that I might start to react to as long as I get approval by the content creators themselves. I'm looking to something like that. As I said, I'm going to follow the lead of Tyrone Magnus. Shout out to him if you end up seeing this video. Share with him if you know him. Big fan! But I'm going to follow his lead and just keep things very simple. And if you want access to the meat of the things that I pay attention to in terms of my reaction, join my membership club at Asha Media TV. Link in the description box below. But for now, I'm signing out and tuning out. And I will see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe and check out my other videos.